Good morning. Welcome, Kamie. So here in northern Michigan, it's the third week in January, and we have been experiencing this really cold wave of temperatures in our area this past week. And today, this morning, it's pretty cold. It is, I think it said it was 2 degrees outside, and the wind chill today is expected to be about 6 below. So I have a snowshoe adventure I'm going to do today with a friend. So I just wanted to touch base about snowshoeing and when it's really cold out. So what I have done today is I have laid out all the clothing that I am going to wear today to be comfortable and out in the extreme weather. So I'm going to briefly explain and show you what I'm wearing, and then in the descriptions I will give you more detail on my layers. We'll start off with my upper layer. So I will start with a base layer. This is my Merino wool short sleeve base layer. This will be the first thing I put on over my sports bra. Second layer is another Merino wool long sleeve, layer in the winter time. And then when I get to the trail, I'll put on my mid layer, which is this, again, a wool, heavier weight. This is a surly. Like I said, I'll put it in the details. So this will be my top, and then I will wear my 650 down big Agnus puffy coat on top of that. So I will have layers. I'll have my mid, long sleeve, and short sleeve. So if I'm out there and I start getting overheated, I can always stop and take either that mid-weight layer off and wrap it around my waist, or take my puffy off and wrap it around my waist. So I will start off with my 2 base layers, my mid-weight, and then my puffy on top of that, which I have a feeling it's going to be a little too hot. We'll see when I get to the trail. I might forfeit one of those base layers once I get there and step outside of the vehicle. So then on my bottoms, I'm going to start off with my Merino wool tights. I love having wool right against my skin in the wintertime, just because wool is like awesome. If it gets wet and sweaty, it still keeps you warm. So I have my wool tights that will go on my base layer on my legs. Then I have this really nice pair of my go-to hiking, snowshoeing, my all-around cold weather pants. They're from Duluth Trading. They're lightly lined inside. They have a water repellent finish on the outside, and they're very flexy. They're stretchy, so I have really good movement in them. Lots of nice pockets if I need them. So I'll have my base layer tights. I'll put my hiking pants, my lined hiking pants over. And I have other pants that are lined that I would wear. So like fleece lined in the winter time. And because I have a big issue with keeping my buns warm when I'm outside in the winter time, I will wear, because it is going to be below 0 temps, I'm going to wear my down skirt. I wear this when I snowshoe, when I cross-country ski, and when I run in the winter. This skirt really keeps my backside really warm and nice and toasty. I couldn't be outside in these temperatures without it. I've tried, and I have spent lots of money on all sorts of different pants, and you know, we're all different. And that's just one of my spots on my body that I really struggle to keep warm. So a down skirt is a must for me. So that'll be my bottom layer. And then I will be wearing my long knee-high socks. These are darn tough socks. They're wool, nice thick winter socks. And because it's really extreme, I will be wearing my, very cold, I'll be wearing my neck gaiter. This one has a nice fleece on the bottom that tucks into my neck. And then I can pull this other lining right up over my face, and it gives me some breathability, and just keeps my chin and my lips and my nose warm. Then I will start off with my wool mittens. I love these wool mittens. There's so many, I know, there's so many high quality, like down mittens out there and everything, but I just love these. They're made from old sweaters. I bought them at a craft show, and they're just my go-to mittens for everything. to start with, because I hate starting out with my fingers cold. And that's a big issue for me. So when I wear my mittens, when I first start, it really helps me keep my fingers cold right off the gate. And then as I warm up, then I'll bring my gloves. They're a little thinner. They've got good grip on the handles for my pulling. And I'll just, there's just plain old Carhart gloves, but they work wonders. So when I get hot, I'll put my gloves on. Then I'll wear one of my favorite hats. This is a nice wool hat, and I'll keep this on my head. And a lot of times I'll take a headband because if I start really overheating, I can take my hat off and just put my headband around my ears. So really the key for winter outdoor activity is just layers. And a lot of times it's just trial and error. And I've been doing winter outdoors activities, gosh, for 20 plus years. So you kind of get to dial it in. Like today, I'm sure starting with all those layers, I have a feeling I'll probably overheat because I know that I'll be in the woods. So you have to take in like where you're going to be also. Like today, I'm going to be in the woods, so I'll be out of the wind. I will be bushwhacking, no doubt about it. We go to our local trail, but we always like to go off trail and go through the woods and break our own trail. So that's a lot of work, and it's hilly over there. So I know I'm going to be generating a lot of body heat. So I probably am overkill with the 3 layers. I have a feeling, but I'll let you know. Now, if I was going to be somewhere where I knew I was going to be snowshoeing through open fields, or if the wind was really going to be an issue, then I definitely would wear all those. And I probably, instead of wearing just plain sunglasses, I'd probably wear snow goggles. I wear snow goggles in the wintertime when the winds are going to be an issue, or if it gets really super cold, I'll wear those. And they just give me more protection from the elements, covering my eyes. But I don't think I'm going to need them today because I know we're going to be tucked out of the wind in the woods. And if you don't have a lot of wind, sometimes I get so hot that my goggles will fog up. So that's my wardrobe for today. Like I said, wool is my go-to. Down is my go-to. Just layer, layer, layer when you're out in the elements. And if I start overheating, I can always unzip. I can take my puffy off, or you can stop and just take an extra layer off. So my rule of thumb is, and when I get to outside, get ready to go, I always want to feel, chilly, like, I hope I warm up. So if you jump out and you already feel nice and toasty, warm, you have too many layers on to start with, I can guarantee you. And I think a lot of times we get scared to do things in extreme cold because we really don't think we're going to warm up. And that keeps a lot of us out. But if you invest in some good quality winter wear, you can really get outside in some pretty cold temperatures and be safe. Oh, another thing I forgot to put out here, but it's in my car ready to go, it's packed in my bag, is Aquaphor. I find that like when I was running all winter a lot, training for marathons, my skin, I can't keep my neck gaiter on my face all the time because it's really hard to breathe. So what I started doing is taking Aquaphor and just coating my skin with the Aquaphor, and it just created this nice barrier from the cold and the wind. So I will have that with me because like I said, I'll have this and I can pull it up and down as needed. It's really nice to have a neck gaiter. If you don't have one, then when you get out in the elements, it just really helps save my chin, my lips. It just adds another level of warmth and protection. But I have my Aquaphor and I'll coat my face with that. So that's what I'm going to go out and snowshoe. And I just wanted to touch base and let you know this is how I prepare. And like I said, I'll leave the description of everything I'm wearing in the details in the description. So, hey, I'm going to get dressed and get ready to go. Okay, now that we covered all the clothing that I'm gonna wear, now it's time to move on to the snowshoes and the other pieces of equipment that I take snowshoeing. These are my outdoor research gaiters that I have for outdoor, for winter time. They have a nice Velcro, zoop, Velcro. There's a hook, a strap that goes under my boot. And at the top here, there's a buckle system that I can pull and tighten around my calf, around my lower leg, I should say. Lock it into place. There's a hook here at the top that is supposed to hook on this little metal ring at the top of your boot and keep it there, but it never stays there. So these are the gaiters that I use. I use knee-high gaiters, must for snowshoeing, because when you snowshoe, the back tail here flicks snow up and the whole bottom leg will be covered in snow, especially if you're bushwhacking. So these are my snowshoes. These are Louis Garneau snowshoes. They're blizzards. I chose my snowshoes for backcountry. Oh, I'm here. I picked these snowshoes for backcountry snowshoeing because I like to go where there's really no trails or breaking trail. That's my favorite way to snowshoe. So anyway, that's what I picked, the Louis Garneau. And why I chose that, I used to have a pair of tubs that worked really well, but they had the nylon straps. And with age, oh boy, when those straps are full of snow and frozen, it was really getting hard for me to use my fingers well enough to undo them and loosen them and tighten them up. So I researched and I found this pair with the BOA system, and that's what my snow boots have for fat tire biking. Super slick and easy to use. And I went with Louis Garneau. They were the ones that I found first with the BOA system, and I am familiar with Louis Garneau products from all my years of triathlon racing. I've used a lot of their products. So anyway, so these are the snowshoes that I bought. Louis Garneau, do your research. The best resource I find for new gear is REI. They have lots of resources there to help you choose what you need. But these are my snowshoes. Got my gaiters on. I'll show you how slick that BOA system works. So you just slide your foot in. See, that thing already came undone. Slide your foot in underneath all the strings here. I'll attach that again. So you put your toe all the way to the end, and you push this down and tighten it up. Just ratchet it right up. Nice and snug. Just like that. And they've got the heel strap. Pull that tight and hook it in there. Nice and snug. So when I get done snowshoeing, this could be all covered, and it will be if I was bushwhacking, all covered in snow. All I have to do is take this knob and pull it, pop it, release, and push it open, release, pull, and get my feet out. Just like that. As you can see, the crampons, big heavy duty crampons, because they're for backcountry. And they have a heel lift bar for if you're going up really steep inclines, which I don't live anywhere where I've had to use this. They work okay, shedding the snow away from here. Yeah, those crampons are heavy duty. So these are my snowshoes, and these are my tall outdoor research gaiters that I wear when I go snowshoeing. Okay, so I showed you my snowshoes and my gaiters. So now I'm going to show you my poles that I use. These are my hiking poles that I got from REI. They're black diamonds. I love these poles. They have cork grips, and they're adjustable in 2 different places. They have awesome shock absorbing. And so what I do for winter snowshoeing is that you attach the snow baskets. It makes a difference, trust me. I forgot to put them on after our first snow because it was our first snow, and I just went out to snowshoe and my pole went right in. I'm like, oh yeah, duh. So I turned around and I had to put these on. Other piece of information. So make sure they're tight. Check them often, especially if you're snowshoeing in deep packy snow. I was out snowshoeing with my girlfriend last year, and I'm going, and all of a sudden it just felt different. You know, you're out enjoying yourself and talking. And anyway, I looked down like, oh, nuts. One of my baskets fell off. So we backtracked trying to find the sucker and never did. But bless her heart, she had an extra pair and she lent them to me. So now what I have my husband do as a trick, because they seem to loosen up off a lot, is he wrapped it with electrical tape, the you know, where it screws on, the threads. Oh my goodness. So he threaded on. These suckers should not fall off or anything, so I use them for the winter. But snow baskets, very important. I use poles when I hike almost all the time, and especially in snow. If you fall down in snow, it's like super hard to get up off the ground, harder than just getting up off the dirt because you've got the snow. So the poles really help if I do fall, to help me get up. But I just like using poles anyway. It helps me, it gives me a bit more of a workout, keeps my hands up and moving. It helps with balance and maneuvering over stuff. So bushwhacking, you know, we could be climbing over logs and down trees. Logs, yeah, whatever. Down trees and scrambling through brush. So I always take my poles, and that helps climbing and descending. So poles are very valuable. An important piece of my gear for hiking and snowshoeing. So these are the poles that I go to with my snow basket. So another trick I want to tell you about, because I've been an active outdoors woman for many, many years. You know, I did all my training for triathlon all winter long here in Michigan. So you just learn, and I bike all winter, so you just learn little tricks. So what I'm going to do today, because it's so cold, I carry my CamelBak. Super important to be hydrated. And I carry more water than I might need, because you just never know. You always have to be prepared. So I'm taking my CamelBak, and one trick when you carry a CamelBak in cold is after you drink your water out of your tube, take and blow back in, and I can hear the bubbles in my bladder, and just nice gentle blow back in. That keeps a lot more of the water out of the tube, because this will freeze. The water will freeze, and because it is so cold today, another trick that I've learned, because even doing the blowback flush technique is it still freezes. So what I will do today is I'll put my CamelBak on, and I will wear it under my coat. And again, you know, you can't worry too much about what you look like. It's all about being able to enjoy the elements. So now my hose is tucked right here against my body, underneath my puffy, so it's not gonna freeze at all. And my water, my CamelBak, should stay relatively warmer. I've been out without doing this, and that water in that bladder gets cold. And then you can feel little ice crystals and chunks starting to come up through the tube. So this is what I'm gonna do today. Wear my CamelBak under my puffy coat, and right here's my hose, right and ready to go. So that's another trick I'd like to pass on to you. So there I am. I'm all set for another wonderful day in the woods, snowshoeing in the beauty, in the extreme temps. Well, it's not extreme. It's only going to be, I think, 6 below zero today, but still nothing to fool around with. So anyway, I hope you can get out and enjoy today. And if you live someplace where there's not snow, you don't have to deal with 6 below. Hey, thanks for watching anyway, because you never know when you might be snowshoeing, right? Hey, you guys, you all get out and have a great day today. Whatever you do, get outside and rise, reach, and reconnect. It's cold. So my friend just asked me, do you care where we go? I'm like, no. He goes, okay then, about an hour, we'll just climb up and down all the hills. I'm like, awesome. As you can see, we are bushwhacking and breaking trail. Like I said, we snowshoe at our local trail, where they do have groomed trails, but we just like to get off trail and break through and just meander through the woods. It is cold, but beautiful. And might I add, my adventure friend here is 73, and he kicks my ass in snowshoeing. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, time to duck back into the woods. Well, almost done with the snowshoe hike for the day. My friend headed back to his vehicle and I went out for a little bit more because I took my mitten off and put my other gloves on, and it fell out of my pocket. And because I'm so fond of them, I decided to hike back and see if I could find it, and I did. But I just wanted to spend more time in the woods. And you know, this is what is so wonderful about snowshoeing. It's just so pure. That's all I can think of. It's just so pure because it's so simple. I mean, compared to cross-country skiing and fat winter biking and downhill skiing, and I don't know, it's just, you get to the woods and it doesn't matter what the trail situation is, how the grooming is, if it's icy, slush, I mean, you can just go. And that's what we did today. We came to our local pathway, our trail system. And even though they groom much of the trails for fat biking and cross-country skiing, and they have a groomed hiking trail, there's a lot of sections and trail sections that they don't groom. And so we were able to come out and just bushwhack. And as you saw, we just took off in the trees and just did loops because we are so familiar with the area, and we snowshoed out here. Doug, like you heard, he's 72 and he's snowshoed out here almost all his life. So you just get to know your area and get to know your surroundings. So we love to come out here and just bushwhack through the trees, connect loops, and you know, we'll come to a groomed trail. You know, every once in a while we just keep going, and when we ended our hike, we did follow the groomed trail to get back to our parking lot. But this is just such a beautiful thing about snowshoeing, is that you can just strap your snowshoes on, head to the woods, and just go. And another thing about it, you know, if you go and wander around, all you have to do is turn around and follow your snowshoe tracks back. So I just love the activity of snowshoeing in the winter. And I'm so giddy because last winter, me and Doug were talking, we weren't able to get out here and hike through the woods like this at all because we just didn't have a good enough snow last year. So man, with it being such deep powder snow and everything, we're just out here making the best of it. I hope you enjoyed some of the scenery I shared, some of the information that I passed on to you, and I hope that you can find time to get out in the woods and reconnect with nature and reconnect with yourself, whatever that may be. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching.